Queen Vibes. Welcome, welcome everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about my healing journey right now. Every day is not easy. It's not easy. Thanks, India. I thought that I was doing the right thing with Nature Boy. I thought that I was making the right decisions. And even though it was a decision and it wasn't necessarily the right one, I always had pure intentions towards my goal or to whatever decision that was made. It's really frustrating for me to see Nature Boy online display the characteristics that he do, say the things that he say. It's frustrating to me because I've been around all of those people in carbonation, and I was trying to stop everything that he's doing right now. I was trying to stop him. I was trying to stop it any way that I could by being an example, just telling him like, you don't need to do this. You don't need to have sex with everyone. You don't need to have that much control. Like, you don't. And it's sickening. I I'm talking slow and monotone because I feel disappointed. I feel extremely disappointed because not only is he abusing people, adults, he's having children. He's having children out of these circumstances and expect everything to be okay. He expect everything to just proceed like it never happened. I just want to tell anybody out there who is watching Carbonation, who is trying to be a part of Carbonation, it's not worth it. Don't go. It's not worth it. As many times as I can say that, everyone will come to their own realization one day about who Nature Boy is, especially if they're in his presence. When you're in his presence, it's harder. It's harder to reel somebody out. You know, it's harder to get to someone when they're in his presence, when they're up close to him, because not only are they listening to what you're saying, not only is he or not only are they gonna stop and watch my live videos and hear what I have to say, but he's also gonna be there as the demon on the other side of their shoulder saying that this is a lie. That's your lower self. Don't believe them. Believe me. I'm your Messiah. I'm this. I'm that. And these people are very confused about them own selves and their power, who they are. They're confused about that, and they don't know which way to go. They don't know how to find it. They don't know where to find it. And because Nature Boy has so much control over them, they'll never be able to find it if they continue to be in his presence. Anybody who's in the presence of Carbonation or Nature Boy for that matter, they'll never be able to find their power because they're giving it all away. They're giving it all to him. Peace and blessings, Naira, Octavia, Supreme, welcome. Willow, Willia, Queen Vibes, Sunshine. I see y'all in the room. I see everybody in the room. Nature Boy would drain the fuck out of you to the point where at times you might not even have might not even have enough physical vitality to, get up and do things for yourself. It's so fucking sickening how he just has everyone catering hand and foot, and he's the demon. Like, he never takes responsibility for anything that he does. Anything. He never takes responsibility. He'll even act like he take responsibility, apologize to you, and then double back and then take it all back and make you feel stupid and make you feel like you are intellectually incompetent of understanding him and his ways and what he's doing. And because there's this mental manipulation cycle of feeling the truth and then being denounced or rebuked by the demon because it's actually in your presence. And so there's a tug of war in all of these people's mind. This is what no one talks about in Carbonation. While everybody's making videos about the five, none of them are actually speaking up on how they truly feel. I know for a fact that most of those women feel some type of way about something. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but they feel some type of way about something. But they don't express themselves. They don't talk about it. They don't talk to him about it. They don't talk to each other about it because he's playing everybody against each other. And if they ever tell him how they truly feel, they'll be reprimanded. And how is that any type of way to live if you're in Carbonation and you can't even tell the person who is supposed to be your Messiah how you are truly feeling? Even with the connection of praying or praying to God or whatever the case you do, whatever, just using that as an example, you have the right, the birthright to express how you if someone's Nature Boy always says this. He says that if someone's stopping you from being yourself, be yourself harder, because that's nothing but a devil stopping you from authentically expressing yourself. Well, if that's the case, then everybody in Carbonation should be how they truly feel. But because He's implemented so many different fear tactics to food rations, sleeping arrangements, relationship arrangements, who's gonna be with who's gonna go where, all kind of things he does. Like, you should never want to be in a situation where you can't push yourself. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna start to stress out. All of these emotions that you keeping in your body is gonna turn into something else, physical sickness. And these people have physical sicknesses. Everybody in carbonation has a physical sickness because of how they're thinking. Nature Boy likes to tell us or teach us that we should be thinking like him and we should be doing what he's doing. But from the works of your knowledge, sir, Nature Boy, from the works of your knowledge, that shit work. Niggas is applying your ideology left and right, and that shit is not working. That shit actually have people malnutritious, sad, fucked up, depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I hear somebody is necessarily inspired by me in carbonation, they proceeded to tell me how after getting the knowledge from Nature Boy, coming across Nature Boy, how much more stressful their lives had become. When you're on a spiritual journey, yes, there will be frustrating moments. Yes, there will be pressure that will be applied to you to see if you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. But what should never happen on a spiritual journey is you becoming so stressed out and so malnutritious that you're pretty much dying alive. He likes to teach about stress and good people being around you and all of this extra stuff, but doesn't really understand what he's saying. He really doesn't understand what he's doing. He thinks that he has the best interest for all of these people. He thinks that he's doing the right thing, and he's not. Malia, baby girl, Malia, I watch you, Malia. I watch you online. The only reason why I watch Malia is because whether we like it or not, whether we like to say it or not, we did have a connection. Me and Malia had a connection. I don't know if it was because we was from the same place or whatever the case may have been, but I remember having some type of connection with now about who they are. You cannot be so you can't be like, you cannot be in a situation. This is my message to Malia. I've been in the same situation as you multiple times, being in the hospital, being sick because Nature Boy was negligent and he wasn't offering any type of medical attention to me so that none of that shit would happen in the first place. So if I went through the same situation as you so many different times, I know the end result. I know what's going to happen. And I'm telling you that you're in the situation right now where you're sick, like sick, like to the point where you wind up going back to wherever, you can relapse. You can be subjected to the same illness that you're currently fighting. You're currently fighting a deadly sickness, whether you like to believe that or not, or whatever the case may be, but you're about to go put yourself right back in the same circumstance and get sick again, get even more sick this time. What about, have you actually thought about you transitioning because of this? And there are people who had transitioned from being around Nature Boy, Mama Dia, Zoka's baby. Me and Eliana almost died. Serenity almost died. Her baby almost died. You have to consider the data. Someone could make you feel so good. Somebody could make you give you the most beautiful experience. But if their actions are not congruent with what they are telling you, they are not telling you the truth. They are not telling you what you need to know. You need to be part of it. I heard for all of the rest of the souls out there who are being your boy. I heard for them. I heard for my daughter who is going to grow up, who's going to ask questions about who her father is. And I'm going to have to figure out how to tell her. I'm going to have to figure out how to show her better than I can tell her. I'm hurting for that, for and all the other children who he have birthed. Uh, her son that she had with Nature Boy, he had, and it's good that he never met the child, but he has no relationships with his children, and he thinks that it's bad. Malia being a victim, Aya being a victim of being subjecting themselves to Nature Boy's influence, they actually wind up leaving their children to go be with Nature Boy. A woman should never leave her children to go be with another man. She should never put a man over her child, because your child is going to need you at the end of the day. That man is not going to be there for that child. That man is not going to love that child. You should never put yourself or compromise yourself to be in a situation with a man that shows you that he doesn't give a fuck about you or the child that you birthed. If a man loves you and you had a child before him, he's going to come into your life and he's going to embrace everything that you are. Children are not, because he cares about you. He has your best interest. He'll never want you to leave your child to be with him. A real man, he'll actually look at you like you fucked up if you try to leave your child to be with him. Because you know what real men think about? They think about having children. They think about who the mother of their child is gonna be when they're having children. This is what real men think about. Nature Boy is a little boy. A little boy. Boys do that. Boys only just fuck women and have children and then neglect the child and neglect the women because they're irresponsible and negligent with their own power. Real men would never condone that, ever. And for all of the women out there who have left their children for Nature Boy, who are about to leave their child for Nature Boy, and who has left their child for Nature Boy, do you think that he'll ever want me to leave Eliana? Do you think that Nature Boy ever want me to leave Eliana, drop her off somewhere with my family to go be with another nigga? This is what he rants and raves about online in front of you. All of the women in Carbonation, Nature Boy rants and raves in front of y'all about me being with another man. And you think that he cares about you. You think that when he can sit up there ranting and raving about me being with another man, but he's subjecting you to flip-flopping between him and him. You're going back and forth having babies by both of them, and you know what I'm saying? Don't know who the baby daddy is, getting abortions left and right, having miscarriages left and right. That shit is not natural. I don't care how much he like to push the agenda of polygamy being natural, this, natural, that. I feel like it's a choice. You have a choice whether you want to be polygamous or not. You have a choice whether you want to have multiple sex partners or not. You have a choice whether you want to be with somebody and subject yourself to the bullshit that you actually see. I believe that everybody in Carbonation have at least came to a realization that Nature Boy might just be toxic. But because of their inability to forward in their own journeys, regardless of their way, if they feel like they can't do it or not, they're subjecting themselves to his way of life. And there is a better lifestyle. I'm pretty sure that if everybody in Carbonation was to leave Nature Boy right now, they'll create probably a better environment than him. because none of these people who are in carbonation that I know of wanted to manipulate anyone. They never wanted to manipulate anyone. They never wanted to necessarily be polygamous. Some of the women necessarily didn't want to be, never even gave it a thought. And you know for a fact that those men over there are not speaking up. You know that they are not authentically expressing themselves. You can see it all in their faces, and they like to hide. Hide. You're not hiding from Nature Boy True. Hiding from Nature Boy Solar. You're not hiding from Nature Boy Pice and Caliber and any other man that's over there. You're not hiding from him. He sees you as a weak ass little individual who he has control over, and that's exactly what's going on. Whether you think you playing chess or not, Solar, whether you think you gonna become the head or not, you're still being manipulated. You're still being drained of your energy. You're being mentally tortured, and you don't even realize, you don't even know it. And honestly, because the men stay there, and I've seen the men there with my own eyes implement Nature Boy's characteristics so that they can become more like him, so that they can be more self-expressive like Nature Boy. That's not who you are, Caliber. Caliber, that's not who you are. Caliber, that's not who you are. Pice, that's not who you are. That's not. That's why you, Caliber, Pice, and Kite, that's why you guys are all the way at the bottom of the barrel. Do you realize that in carbonation, you are at the bottom of the barrel? No one gives a fuck about you there. No one's gonna make sure you're straight. None of those women love you there. I don't know why, but I have had a deep connection with Caliber at one point in time in carbonation. And I reached out to him at one point in time. You know, a lot of people have controversy around me having sex and all of this shit like that, whatever. I never thought about having sex with Caliber. You know, I never physically did anything with him. You know, when I was in carbonation, Nature Boy proceeded to have a meeting, which he has these meetings all the time, asking everybody who likes who and who likes who and who likes this and who likes that. Well, because I had a connection with Caliber, I openly said that I liked him in carbonation. And I used this tactic to get closer to him so that I can sniff out how these people's minds are really working. Because what no one realized when I was in carbonation, I was always kept away like a princess in a dungeon. You know, when the men would come around, Nature Boy would always be very insecure. I was only allowed to be around the women, so I didn't really get to see the outskirts of certain things that happen with the men. So I used this opportunity to get closer, and when I got closer to Caliber, I was able to see the behavior of the men. And I realized that these men are turning into Nature Boy. And specifically for Caliber, I know that's not who he is. I know that's not who Caliber is. Nobody could tell me different. Nobody could tell me that Caliber is supposed to be there. Nobody could tell me that Caliber is going to stay there. Period. Period. Everyone needs to get out. I just have certain feelings about everybody there. Like Malia, I think about Malia a lot. You know, I've reached out to Malia's family. I've spoken with Malia's family on multiple occasions. You know, Malia doesn't want to connect with anyone because she wants to keep her mind for Nature Boy. Something that Nature Boy always told us was that We need to give him our minds. You know, as a human, even when we study ancient scripts and ancient uh information and stuff like that, the script tells us never to give our mind to somebody else, never to put another man or another human in front of the almighty source of who we all are. Never worship somebody that is a human just like you. Know that this person is a false prophet and do not follow them. So when you are giving your mind to someone, you are giving your soul to them. You are giving a part of yourself. You're giving your power away. You're giving someone complete access to use you as a puppet and do and make you do anything that they want you to do. And because you're afraid of death, because you're afraid of really consciously evolving, because you're afraid of being hurt, because you're afraid of it not actually being true, because you've already made the decision, you've already left your child, you know, it could fuck with you. This like this whole situation or any situation that you give your mind to, it will fuck you up. Because the after effects, once you really come to the realization of what's actually going on and what, you know, and know that you actually started feeling signs, but you was ignoring it, you're gonna be, you're gonna be, you're gonna feel pain. You will. And for most of the people, I could say for people who haven't been there long, you know, and even the people who have been there long, like, you should still leave. You should still leave. Because when you really come to that realization and it's time for you to go, it's going to be really sticky. It's going to be really messy. Because sometimes when people are hurt, they experience anger. You know, they literally experience anger, and who knows what someone is going to do when they find out and really come to the realization that they've been manipulated. Nature Boy is always talking about how he feel like someone's gonna poison him, someone's gonna do this, someone's gonna do that. Somebody probably will, just off of the strength that you have people in your environment that you don't know, they don't know you, but they're watching you and they're making secret plans on you. But you wouldn't know, and you wouldn't protect yourself, neither would you protect your children and the person who's you know, who actually married you. You would never protect us or yourself from that type of harm, because that's the type of shit you inflict into your own life. That's the type of stuff that you bring into your life. That's the type of stuff that you know, have lingering around you because of your ways and what you do. You only can draw to you what you are. So while Nature Boy, you're online thinking that everyone's bashing you, thinking that no one has your best interest and everybody wants to see you in jail and all this extra stuff, how about you take a moment and realize why? I never did you nothing, my nigga. Nature Boy, I never did you anything, but you fucked over me to the maximum degree and then had a child with me and then double back and got on social media. Like, you can live with it. This karma that you're creating for yourself is beyond my control. It's beyond control who speaks negative about you, who says anything about you. Like, it is beyond us, because you have momentum now. You've created momentum for your karma. Years after years after years, you've been doing the same thing over and over and over. Before carbonation, before you got on the internet, before you went to get on a plane to go to Honduras, you've been doing it over. This is not new. Anybody in carbonation, Nature Boy, his characteristics are not gone. They're covered up with lies and deceit. who he really is, he covers it up with the truth to make you feel like he's someone who he portrays himself to be, but that's not really the truth. If you want to know somebody, study their past. If you want to know somebody, study their past. And when we study Nature Boy's past, what do we come up with?
All
Hey,
you whores eat
Sway.
my boogers. Yeah, eat my boogers.